It all started with a couple of computers wanting to share information with each other. Then the data explosion started and shows no signs of stopping. Switches, routers, access points, sure. But now household appliances, refrigerators, anything with a power cord is now plugging into the network. Well, this redshift in expansion can only last so long. Now we're seeing more and more devices virtualized as overexpansion is now recast as consolidation. Now, given this setup, this new router may not surprise you, but pay close attention to how you can use it. Well, the CSR 1000V is the new Cisco Virtual Router. CSR stands for Cloud Services Router. It's a virtualized iOS XE router custom built for virtual private multi-tenant cloud deployments. You see, in the cloud, we already provide solutions for defining layer 2 connectivity between virtual machines with the Nexus 1000V. We've got WAN optimization covered with VWAS. We even have firewall services locked in with the virtual security gateway. So you can see how this last piece should be a router, purpose-built for the reality of current networking needs. This router completes the picture. Now, it would be easy to dismiss this as, they just virtualized a router, big deal. But you'd be wrong. It's so much more than a virtual router. But to really appreciate it, we need to go inside, deep inside. Now, first off, we used one of the most advanced routers in the world as a template, the ASR 1000 series. Now, like the ASR design, the CSR has both the route and forwarding processors with the I/O complex all mapped into single logical groups. Engineering the CSR into this design provided some really big advantages. By distributing each of these processes, we can take full advantage of concurrent processing with newer and higher core CPUs as they are released. We can also ensure maximum performance by directly mapping PCIe NIC devices directly to the virtual machines. Single root IOV NICs can even do this while still being shared with multiple other virtual machines. The CSR is a fully virtualized design. This means no hypervisor-specific customizations in the XE kernel. The result? Greater flexibility in hypervisor design, plus we can emulate functionalities like virtual console, flash storage, packaging, booting, VNIC virtual I/O in a virtual environment. All good, right? That's just a little on how it's built. But how can we really call it a cloud services router? Well, one of the most agreed upon requirements for cloud is multi-tenancy. Now, each one of these tenants can be thought of as a virtual private cloud. They need access to the same resources, but they must be totally isolated from each other. Now, in the old school methodology of cloud building, we twist up the network, adding additional hardware to act as BGP route reflectors, or even DMVPN hubs requiring a hairpin to the centralized data center to get back to the cloud provider, which of course adds latency. And yes, even mapping MPLS instances to VLANs with Ethernet over MPLS, well, it adds more complexity to a multi-tenant config, not to mention how that trashes scalability. So here's the big key point. The CSR does not require an intermediary to broker the connection. You get rid of the complexity by having VPN instances now mapping directly to the VPC. This one improvement alone dramatically reduces latency in your cloud design. Now, perhaps to be more accurate, we should have called this the multi-tenant gateway for VPN to VPC connectivity. We'd probably call that the MTGVTVC. That's a horrible acronym. It's more like an oversized Roman numeral. So CSR it is, Cloud Services Router. I mean, look at these features. Flex VPN. Since the CSR is a router, there's no need to be dependent on VLANs in the cloud. Just terminate MPLS right at the VPC. Leave the VLANs on the LANs. Check out this list of MPLS features. Traffic management, for one. You can carry your QoS through the cloud as well as your IPSLA metrics. Like that? New technologies like Lisp enable an even higher degree of virtual machine mobility and extend the data center network right through to the VPC itself. No need to worry about network services redirection. Services get transparently redirected at the VPC edge to support monitoring, intercept, resiliency, independent of each multi-tenant layer. Now, speaking of independent, the REST API and XML interface gives the CSR an unprecedented programmable manageability with products like VNMC, OpenStack, and Cloud Portal. That is a lot of stuff. But that's the type of innovation we all expect. The CSR is key for cloud enabling the network without all the workarounds. This one device enables multi-tenant deployments with secure connectivity, multiple integrated services, redirection, and of course, maximum flexibility. Don't overcomplicate your cloud. Check out the new Cloud Services Router and see for yourself.